If you love Downton Abbey, then we've got some juicy stuff for you. Guess what? The cast has revealed some secrets on set, and we'll be discussing them one by one. Julian Fellowes' series went on to become a cultural phenomenon, catapulting the careers of stars like Michelle Dockery, Dan Stevens, and others in the cast, and introducing one of television's most beloved characters, Maggie Smith's Dowager Countess.
Remember to pray for us.
I'll put in a word.
After the original series ended in 2015, fans were eager to see the first film when it was released in theaters in September 2019.
No maid, no valet, no nanny even.
In light of the upcoming movie, we will reveal such behind-the-scenes nuggets, as the true motivation for the series' most shocking death and which star almost didn't show up to her audition. Julian Fellowes' experiences growing up with a father who worked in the diplomatic service served as inspiration for the historical drama that he wrote. His mother hadn't been presented, she wasn't a debutante, he told Closer, explaining the family drama in his own life. My great aunts always maintained the opinion that she had caught my father. Eventually, they learned to live with her because she had fulfilled her dynasty duty by bearing 4 healthy sons. We forgot to note that Fellowes is a baron and a member of the House of Lords. Casting director Jill Trevelyan revealed that Maggie Smith, Hugh Bonneville, Michelle Dockery, and Dan Stevens were all frontrunners for their respective roles. The role of valet John Bates proved to be the most challenging to fill, with over 60 actors being considered before Brendan Coyle was cast in the part. However, the studio was still not convinced that Coyle was the best choice for the part, for one very specific reason. From the get-go, we had Brendan in mind. Julian saw Brendan in North and South, and he was convinced that Brendan was the right actor for the part. Trevelyan said of the role that was written just for Brendan. Not because they didn't like Brendan, but because he'd been in a historical genre piece that they worried was a bit too close and would even be broadcast at the same time on an alternative channel. We saw Brendan very early on, and then there were some qualms at the broadcast end. In the end, I guess, we just wore them down. After waiting another 6 weeks, they finally made Coyle an offer for the part. The shocking death of Matthew Crawley in the 3rd season finale of Downton Abbey was the first OMG moment for the show. Later, the actor told Entertainment Weekly, "There were a lot of very upset people demanding apologies for his decision to leave the program at the end of his 3-year contract." He stated, "Doing a long-running TV thing was amazing on all sorts of levels," to explain why he was sad to leave Downton. "But for the time being, I'm more interested in finding ways to keep myself busy and stimulated." Fellowes told E! News that Stevens' sudden death was due to the actor's decision not to return for a 4th season appearance. He remarked, "I think it was hard for viewers to grasp that it was Dan's choice to go. While contracts in the United States are often longer," he continued, "it seemed to them that the production team had just decided, However, his 3-year contract had just ended, and he was eager to try new things. We wish him well in his endeavors. We had no choice but to figure out a way to make it happen. Some of the mail I got would make your skin crawl." Despite the show's emphasis on Matthew's tragic death, Season 4's premiere attracted a record-breaking 10.2 million viewers, making it the highest-rated drama premiere in PBS history. Fellowes told Radio Times that he would have handled the exit of fan favorite Lady Sybil differently had he known sooner about Stevens' plans to leave the show. It was hard because Jessica Brown Findlay had announced her departure from the start. "I'm doing 3 years and then I'm leaving," she declared. Fellowes concluded that the situation had been resolved. "A car accident would have been the most likely way I would have taken his life if he had made up his mind at the start." Downton Abbey was filmed at Highclere Castle, a 17th century estate that has since become one of the most visited places in the United Kingdom. Ahead of the film's release in September 2019, the castle's 100,000 square feet were listed on Airbnb, and 2 fortunate admirers were permitted to stay the night in the luxurious retreat. The historical consultant for the program revealed the common ghost story that the tenants had to deal with in an interview with Travel Plus Leisure. When Alistair Bruce revealed the show's opening sequence, "My cousin, Jean Margaret Herbert, Countess of Carnarvon, was ashen white," the actor recalled. A reminder, before the Earl of Grantham arrives downstairs, Daisy awakens the household and sets everyone to work cleaning. Mrs. Hughes is walking around and the camera zeroes in on the chain at her waist that holds all the keys. Jean, the Dowager Countess of Carnarvon, turned pale upon learning that there is a ghost at the house who is a former housekeeper. And you know, she's around because you can hear the keys jangling at the end of her chain. While Lady Edith Crawley would become Laura Carmichael's breakout role, she almost passed up the opportunity to audition. Carmichael said to Tribune News Service, "I thought it was going to be a 'yes, my lord,' a half-filming maybe one line, because I was starring in a touring production of Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. However, having television experience looks great on a resume, and I realized I'm going to have to say no to my dream job in Shakespeare to take this one on television." Wow, what a catastrophe. Despite Gillian Anderson's 2012 confession that she was offered the role of Cora Crawley, she ultimately passed, with Elizabeth McGovern taking on the role of the American heiress turned Countess of Grantham. Vanity Fair claims that Queen Elizabeth II enjoyed fact-checking the show just for fun. Author of At Home with the Queen, Brian Hoy, told People, "She loves to pick out the mistakes." Star Alan Leach claims that even Prince William watches the show. On Watch What Happens Live in 2013, he said, "I shook his hand and he actually said, 'I'm a big fan of the show, only now that my wife's had a baby.' Evidently, he has a lot of free time, so Kate has him viewing this. A, you're going to watch it with me." The actress who played Violet Crawley, the Dowager Countess, said she had never seen an episode. She told The Telegraph that she avoided viewing her own work because it's frustrating. As the saying goes, "I always see things that I would like to do differently and think, why in the name of God did I do that?" Chief costume designer Susanna Buxton said that the female actors need to wear corsets under their outfits created real problems for the production. She told The Mirror, "It's a nightmare for those poor things. They were in a tremendous amount of pain. The girls aren't used to them, but you have to learn how to wear them. The actors wore them and they were so snug that they couldn't even open their mouths to eat." So guys, these are the Downton Abbey secrets on set. Did you catch any of them while watching?